Imagine the noise of the streets of Beijing in the early 20th century. Wagons dragging along dusty roads, the smell of coal, the ringing of rickshaw bells, the hum of merchants' conversations at the old Qianmen Gate. And now, a quick transition to the year 2100. Drones sweep between shining towers, streets are controlled by artificial intelligence, and ancient pagodas are adjacent to holographic gardens. It's still the same Beijing, but changed beyond recognition. A city where the past and the future are intertwined in one breath. Today we will look at how a megacity grew out of the heart of old China, capable of predicting the weather, thoughts, and dreams of its people. In the 1900s, Beijing was a symbol of old China, the city of the emperors, where traditions and rituals defined every step. The streets were narrow, the houses were low, and life was measured. The Forbidden City stood in silence, surrounded by walls, like the embodiment of imperial power and mystery. Beijing lived in the past at that time. The spirit of the Ming and Qing dynasties could be felt in every street. Technology, telegraphy, and steam power were just beginning to enter everyday life. Electricity was a luxury, and the concept of speed was measured by the steps of pedestrians and the rumble of carts. But already in the 1920s, everything began to change. The wind of modernization, which came from the West, affected Beijing. The first trams appeared, universities opened the doors to new ideas, and old philosophers argued with engineers about the future of China. This period became a time of searching for identity, how to connect ancient culture and a new era. Beijing was a hub of seething minds, where the word progress sounded both scary and fascinating. By the middle of the 20th century, Beijing had become the scene of changes that the city had not seen in 2,000 years. Industrialization, urbanization, millions of people coming to the capital for a better life. The old hutongs, traditional Chinese courtyards, gradually gave way to wide avenues and concrete buildings. In the 1980s, Beijing already resembled a giant construction site. Cranes, the noise of cars, the smell of fresh asphalt. The first skyscrapers and subways appeared, and university campuses came to life. The 21st century has arrived, and Beijing has become a global arena. The 2008 Olympics turned him into a symbol of the new China. The country has shown the world that it is capable of not just catching up, but getting ahead. Glass skyscrapers, high-speed trains, an airport that looks like an alien terminal. And yet, among this gloss, there were corners of old Beijing, where the elderly played chess under plane trees, and the smell of street dumplings mixed with the scent of lotus. Contrast has become the essence of the city. The past is not dead, it is hidden between the layers of the future. In the 2050s, Beijing entered a new era, the era of conscious development. After the ecological crises and overpopulation, the city began to rethink itself. Giant neighborhoods have turned into smart neighborhoods, houses capable of recycling air, streets powered by solar energy, underground transportation networks controlled by neural networks. The authorities have introduced a Green Beijing policy, restoring old parks and creating new water channels, restoring the city's breath. Now let's imagine the year 2100. Beijing is no longer just a city, it is a living system. Each building is a part of a digital organism that adapts to the weather, movement, and number of inhabitants. The air is purified by billions of nanofilters embedded in the infrastructure. Drones control deliveries, unmanned capsules transport people. Human labor has been replaced by algorithms, but culture and creativity have become the new currency. The Forbidden City, once a symbol of power, has now been turned into an augmented reality platform museum. Here you can walk around the courtyard where the emperor once stood and see holographic scenes of dynastic life. Beijing in 2100 has become not just a technological miracle, but a digital archive of civilization. But what makes it special is not technology, but philosophy. China, and Beijing with it, has always believed in a balance, yin and yang, past and future, tradition and innovation. This balance has become the key to the survival of the metropolis. The city has not forgotten its roots. On the contrary, it has learned to make history a part of everyday life. In the year 2100, architects are integrating ancient pagoda shapes into skyscraper designs, creating a symbiosis where culture and progress merge into one. Beijing has become the smart heart of the East. His artificial intelligence doesn't just manage the city, it learns from residents, analyzes emotions, and helps make decisions. Citizens and technology are not enemies, but partners. People communicate with the city as with a living being, through voice interfaces, touch walls, and holograms. Even transportation has become individual. It adapts to a person's mood, the music they listen to, and stress levels. The Beijing economy of the future is based not on production, but on ideas. Innovation centers have replaced factories. Instead of industrial zones, there are domed research complexes where artificial intelligence designs solutions for climate, medicine, and space. Beijing has become the laboratory of humanity. But with it came a new challenge: digital addiction. In a world where everything is connected, the question arises, what does it mean to be human? People are looking for a balance between speed and meaning, between machine comfort and spiritual silence. Therefore, in Beijing in 2100, zones of silence are popular. Areas where there are no signals, screens, only nature and books. It is here that new philosophies are born, as they once were in the monasteries of old China. The city closes the circle again. As in the 1900s, it becomes a space where the past meets the future. Only now there are digital domes instead of imperial walls, and a code instead of calligraphy. But the essence remains the same: the search for harmony between man and his creation. Beijing has gone from dusty roads to roads of light. He survived the age of coal, steel, electricity, silicon, and entered the age of consciousness. And perhaps this city is the first to realize that progress is not about speed, but the ability to remember who you are. Beijing in 2100 is not just the future of China. It is a mirror of all humanity, a reflection of our fears, ambitions, and hopes. After all, every metropolis will become smart someday, but not everyone will remain wise. Beijing has remained,